Mini breakers, also known as tandem breakers or thin breakers, are indeed permitted in certain situations where two breakers are installed in a single breaker slot. However, it's crucial to understand the specific requirements and limitations outlined in the National Electrical Code, or NEC, and any local electrical codes that may apply. The primary consideration is whether the panel board is designed and listed for the use of such breakers. Panel boards that are designed for tandem breakers will be labeled to indicate the number of spaces that can accept two breakers in one slot. This labeling is typically found on the inside of the panel door or on the panel board itself. If the panel board is not designed or listed for tandem breakers, then their use is prohibited, as it can lead to overloading of the panel board and create a fire hazard. When a panel board is approved for tandem breakers, it's essential to ensure that the breakers themselves are of the correct type and rating for the application. Typically, tandem breakers are only allowed on 120-volt circuits and not on 240-volt circuits that require a double pole breaker. The total number of circuits in a panel board is limited by the panel board's design and listing, even when using tandem breakers. This is to prevent overloading the panel board's main busbars. The NEC provides guidance on the proper selection and installation of overcurrent protection devices, including circuit breakers. Some key sections to consult include Article 240, which covers overcurrent protection in general, and Article 408, which addresses panel boards. Specifically, Section 408.36 deals with the number of overcurrent devices in a panel board, and Section 408.41 covers the overcurrent protection of panel boards. When installing tandem breakers, it's crucial to follow the manufacturer's instructions and to ensure that the breakers are properly seated and secured in the panel board. The wiring connected to the breakers must also be of the correct size and type for the intended load. A qualified electrician should perform the installation to ensure that all requirements are met and that the installation is safe and compliant. Failing to comply with these requirements can result in electrical hazards such as overheating, arcing, and fire. In addition to the NEC requirements, local electrical codes may have additional restrictions or requirements regarding the use of tandem breakers. It's essential to consult with the local electrical inspector or authority having jurisdiction, also known as the AHA, to determine the specific requirements in your area. The AHA has the final say on whether an installation is compliant with the applicable codes. In summary, the use of mini breakers or tandem breakers in a single breaker slot is permissible only if the panel board is designed and listed for such breakers, the breakers are of the correct type and rating, the installation complies with NEC and local electrical codes, and a qualified electrician performs the installation. Always prioritize safety and compliance when working with electricity. It is also important to note that some older panel boards may not be designed for tandem breakers, even if they appear to have the physical space for them. Attempting to install tandem breakers in such panel boards can be dangerous and may damage the panel board. The panel board's labeling will indicate whether it is approved for tandem breakers. If there is no labeling or if you are unsure, consult with a qualified electrician. When replacing a circuit breaker, it's important to select a breaker that is of the same type and rating as the original breaker. Using a breaker with a higher amperage rating than the circuit is designed for can overload the circuit and create a fire hazard. Similarly, using a breaker with a lower amperage rating than the circuit requires can cause the breaker to trip frequently, which can be inconvenient and may damage the equipment connected to the circuit. Before working on any electrical equipment, always turn off the power to the circuit at the main breaker. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment such as safety glasses and gloves to protect yourself from electrical hazards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Electricity can be dangerous, and it's important to take precautions to protect yourself and others. Here's a more detailed explanation of the considerations when using tandem breakers. Firstly, panel board compatibility. The most important factor is whether the panel board is designed and listed for use with tandem breakers. This information is typically found in the panel board's label, which is usually located on the inside of the panel door. The label will indicate the maximum number of circuits the panel board can accommodate, as well as any restrictions on the use of tandem breakers. If the panel board is not listed for tandem breakers, then their use is prohibited. Secondly, breaker type and rating. Tandem breakers must be of the correct type and rating for the application. They are typically available in single pole configurations, meaning they protect only one ungrounded conductor. They are also available in various amperage ratings to match the circuit's requirements. It's important to select a tandem breaker that is compatible with the panel board and that has the correct amperage rating for the circuit. Thirdly, circuit load. The total load on a circuit protected by a tandem breaker must not exceed the breaker's amperage rating. Overloading a circuit can cause the breaker to trip, which can be inconvenient and may damage the equipment connected to the circuit. It can also create a fire hazard. Fourthly, wiring size. The wiring connected to a tandem breaker must be of the correct size for the circuit's amperage rating. Undersized wiring can overheat and create a fire hazard. The NEC specifies the minimum wire size for various amperage ratings. Fifthly, installation. Tandem breakers must be properly installed in the panel board. They must be securely seated and connected to the bus bars. Loose or improperly installed breakers can cause arcing and overheating, which can lead to a fire. Sixthly, local codes. Local electrical codes may have additional requirements or restrictions regarding the use of tandem breakers. It's important to consult with the local electrical inspector or authority having jurisdiction, also known as the AHJ, to determine the specific requirements in your area. Seventhly, safety. Always prioritize safety when working with electricity. Turn off the power to the circuit at the main breaker before working on any electrical equipment. Use a voltage tester to verify that the power is off before touching any wires or components. Wear appropriate personal protective equipment, such as safety glasses and gloves, to protect yourself from electrical hazards. If you are not comfortable working with electricity, hire a qualified electrician to perform the work. Eighthly, labeling and documentation. Clearly label all circuits protected by tandem breakers in the panel board. This will help prevent confusion and ensure that the correct breaker is turned off when working on a circuit. Also, keep a record of all electrical work performed, including the installation of tandem breakers. This documentation will be helpful for future maintenance and troubleshooting. Ninthly, professional consultation. If you have any questions or concerns about the use of tandem breakers, consult with a qualified electrician. They can assess your specific situation and provide guidance on the best approach. Tenthly, avoiding overloading. Even with tandem breakers, avoid overloading the panel. If the panel is near its maximum capacity, consider upgrading to a larger panel to accommodate additional circuits. The use of tandem breakers is a common practice in electrical installations, but it's important to understand the requirements and limitations to ensure safety and compliance. Always consult with a qualified electrician if you have any questions or concerns. Remember to carefully consider the total load on the circuit, the wiring size, and the installation procedures. Adhering to these guidelines will help ensure a safe and reliable electrical system. Also, it's important to be aware of the different types of tandem breakers available. Some tandem breakers are designed to provide two circuits in the space of one standard breaker, while others are designed to provide one circuit with a higher amperage rating than a standard breaker. Be sure to select the correct type of tandem breaker for your specific application. If you are unsure, consult with a qualified electrician. Furthermore, it is worth noting that the NEC also addresses the use of arc fault circuit interrupters, or FSIs, and ground fault circuit interrupters, or GFCIs, in conjunction with tandem breakers. FSIs are designed to protect against electrical fires caused by arcing faults, while GFCIs are designed to protect against electrical shock caused by ground faults. The NEC requires FSIs in many areas of the home, such as bedrooms and living rooms, and GFCIs in areas where there is a risk of water exposure, such as bathrooms and kitchens. When using tandem breakers, it's important to ensure that the circuits protected by the breakers are also protected by FSIs or GFCIs as required by the NEC. This may require the use of special tandem breakers that incorporate SI or GFCI protection. In addition to the NEC and local electrical codes, it's also important to consider the manufacturer's instructions for the panel board and the circuit breakers. The manufacturer's instructions will provide specific information on the proper installation and use of the equipment. Failing to follow the manufacturer's instructions can void the warranty and may create a safety hazard. Moreover, it's essential to periodically inspect the electrical panel and circuit breakers to ensure that they are in good working condition. Look for signs of damage such as cracks, discoloration, or corrosion. Also, check the breakers to ensure that they are properly seated and that they trip when tested. If you find any problems, contact a qualified electrician to make repairs. The information provided is for general guidance only and should not be considered a substitute for professional advice. Always consult with a qualified electrician for any electrical work.